Hi, my name is Dara, and I am the Executive Director of the Lake County Council on Aging. And living in rural Montana, we know that transportation is key to being independent. And so that is why we have a demand response transportation system called Lake Community Transit. We have a fleet of vehicles, including wheelchair accessible vans, that are used to take riders to medical appointments, shopping, to airports, and to social appointments. Our vehicles are driven by qualified volunteers, and they're available for trips to Missoula, Kalispell, and Lake County towns. Our transportation program is available to all residents of Lake County. There are no age restrictions. Most of our clients are either elderly or disabled, but we are open to everybody, even kids, as long as they are with an adult and have the correct car seat. So our fare depends on which town you are coming from and going to, but generally ranges from $8 to $25. We can bill Medicaid directly for your ride if you already have Medicaid and you're going to a necessary medical appointment. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we are taking extra safety precautions. Only one rider or family is allowed to ride at a time. Both the rider and driver must wear a mask and sanitize frequently. And then we sanitize our vehicles after every use as well. Also, to book a trip, you must call 2 business days in advance now. And that's just because we have to coordinate the vehicles and the volunteers to make sure we have a match. And then we are working from home a lot to try to reduce contact. But when you call, please let us know your name, phone number, the address you'll be picked up from, where you are going, and what time your appointment is. We will then match you with a volunteer driver and a vehicle. And a lot of times you'll just get the message machine to book your ride. So just leave all that information on there and then we'll get it started and call you to confirm. Anyway, call us if we can help book a ride for you or a client. Our phone number is 676-2367, and that's extension 1. Thank you.
I'm down about, 12 routes now.
Holy cow.
Well, and with winter coming, I'm getting a lot of riders, but I'm not getting anybody that wants to drive. That's kind of a problem.
Why do you think that is? Because the riders can be drivers, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the people that want to ride, they don't want to drive on the bad roads.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Well, yeah, we probably should mention is we can do Vanpools up there for employers. Mm-hmm. Right now we're doing 7 for Designs for Health. And they're coming in all the way from Thompson Falls, Missoula. They're all over the place. And we do have enough vehicles. So with the COVID, we could dedicate a van just to that employer. So they don't have to worry about their employees getting infected. So we can do that. Setting those up is fairly easy.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm looking at with the Vanpool, but the company's kind of a pain to work with, is instituting a RFID card reader thing. So that tracks the ridership and we can bill off of that and all that kind of stuff. The school bus systems use it.
That would be really nice, huh?
Yeah, it would save my staff from going out and stuff and help on the administrative side, but it's still,
Yeah.
And I justify the cost with only, basically Designs for Health running. Mm-hmm. Thank God for Designs for Health.
Yes, I'm glad they're using you. Good. Well, hopefully this maybe will drum up some more Vanpool business for you.
Yeah, well, and like I said, with the Vanpool, we can set it up to where the riders pay 100% of the fare, part of the fares. The employer can pick up all the fares. But I know that Brent has mentioned that it's helped with his recruiting. He can recruit people out of areas that he couldn't normally do it because they don't have that transportation cost.
Yeah, that's really valuable.
The program started, God, probably 20 years ago, actually. And it's kind of morphed. It was started with a fundraiser in Lake County. And then the TAC picked it up. Basically, we've morphed it to meet the needs of people that can afford rides to either to or from medical facilities or job seekers. So they can use it if somebody needs to go on an interview, or if they get that job, then we will buy them a month bus pass on Corky system. Basically, the providers in Lake County that are participating is CSKT, Corky System, Lake County COA, and Polson Taxi will accept the vouchers. Might ask how you get the vouchers. Basically, if you're an entity, you need to contribute to the system, although we've let the job service use those for their people. Right now, our contributors, main one is the Montana Department of Transportation. We get our local match for that grant from Community Medical Center, Marcus Daly Hospital, Mineral County Crime Victims Advocate, and the Mineral County Hospital. So those are the people at this point that have the vouchers other than the Polson Job Service. How the program works is if you want to become a participant, you can donate to that local match that we need. We will get you out the vouchers, whether you want the bus pass vouchers or the gas vouchers. And then you just, when those entities, either Corky's, the taxi, or Dara, get them, they send them to me and I pay them for the rides.
And I think a lot of the people from hospitals might be interested to know more about the rides home, because even if someone gets released from the hospital in Missoula or Kalispell, they can still use this program to get home to Lake County, right?
Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, Community Medical Center, they typically use like Huckleberry Taxi or Big Sky Taxi. At this point, Green Taxi went out of business. But yeah, they use Sanders County COA to get them up there. So yeah, community uses all of the providers in the area.
Great. And what do the participant qualifications have to be?
We ask the people giving out the vouchers to screen the people to make sure that this is the last option available to them. They don't have any Medicaid that can pay for the ride. They don't have friends or family that can come and get them for the ride. Although I will say that if they've got friends and family that can come and get them for a ride, you can give those people gas vouchers to help them cover the cost of coming and getting that person. So this is, as the name says, emergency transportation vouchers. Perfect. So it's not something, so say if you've got someone that needs cancer treatments, this is not to pay for all of their visits. Let's say they get to the end of the month and they can't pay for the ride to treatment, then yeah, you can use it for that one. But they need to exhaust all other sources before they tap into this one.
Perfect. So if a different organization wanted to be a part of this program, who do they contact?
They can just get a hold of me and I'll get them set up and get them the vouchers, whichever kind they want. Track their donation like I do for the ones that are in there now.
Perfect. And what's your phone number?
My phone number is 327-8707. My email address is mrtma, the number 2, at montana.com, and Montana spelled out.
Hi, my name is Corky Sias, and I'm with the CSKT Transit here in Pablo, Montana. We have, I've been operating as the manager for 12 years now, and this has been a slow time for us just because of the COVID. We really have never got back on track since, we shut down. Our first was in March 16th, and we haven't really had back to full. We've had the workers, we just haven't had the riders, just because of COVID and how we've had to separate the seating out. So it's been not difficult, but at times it can be. Mostly we're transporting workers to work, and we can only have 5 people on a bus. So to keep them separate, and we've put separation between the driver and the passengers. We have plexiglass, and we've stuck up other items to make that work. We have hand sanitizers. We wipe down our buses. But so the COVID has slowed us down a little bit, just for transportation wise. We can't fill a bus up like we have been able to do in the past. So a minivan can only take 2 people, or a family of 2, or a family of 3, as long as they live together. So we have had limited seats, has been our problem. We haven't had too much call for going off the reservation. It's mostly on reservation trips, and including Sanders County, because we do come from Hot Springs daily and from the RLE area daily. So we still cover the whole reservation. We ask for 24-hour in advance, 48 hours off reservation trips. But right now we're only doing doctor appointment trips to Missoula and Kalispell.
Okay. Perfect. And what's the best number to call if people want to book a ride?
406-275-2792. We operate 5 days a week on that phone number. So that's the best one to call us at.
Sounds good. And just to confirm, you guys can bill Medicaid, right?
Yes, we can directly. Yep.
Okay. And then you have the emergency transportation program also.
Right. Yes, the guaranteed ride home. We have the vouchers that work, and also that works with the taxi if needed to be. If we were unable to transport them, we would use the taxi as our backup.
Perfect.
Or we coordinate with other agencies of Sanders County Council on Aging and also Lake County Council on Aging.
Okay. Perfect. Well, that's all I have, Corky. I just needed a quick summary, so thank you for. I'm sorry we were playing tag there for a while.
Right. And it just has been. Sometimes we have the drivers, but we get 2 trips, 1 trip to Kalispell, 1 trip to Missoula. We could be shorthanded in a pretty quickly. We just received a new bus last week, and then we're receiving 3 more new vehicles that are. The transit vans are the bigger 9-passenger, and we'll be receiving them hopefully in December, maybe the first part of January. So that'll help us out our needs of taking some of the minivans out and putting those into place. And they'll have wheelchair lifts in them too. So.
Oh, nice.
And we're doing the few dialysis trips now. We're pretty limited on those because it's a pretty tough trying to keep schedules and keep people moving and not be stuck at the dialysis centers, but we are making it work. We do have a few that we are transporting. Tribal Health transports most of the dialysis for us, tribal members. So I don't know if you are getting hit by some of those.
Yeah, we have a couple people, but they've been people that live in Polson. So I pay Polson Senior Center, and I bought 2 vehicles that I leave down there, and so they're taking them for me right now because they have 1 paid driver while all of ours are volunteer.
Right.
So it hasn't been too bad. It's when I start getting them, anywhere besides Polson that it really is, hard to find a volunteer in a van. Just because, you're right. They just have to be reserved for that day almost. Yeah.
So 4 hours, and we have most of the time it's in a wheelchair. So then we have to, be able to make sure we have a wheelchair vehicle to pick them up. We have 1 individual that's going Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays right now, and that's working out okay. So, but we had Veterans Day off last week, so we couldn't transport him. So, but we're giving them enough notice. And so in most part, it's working out. I don't know how many passengers we could handle just with the vehicles we have and the seating we have. So at times it can be pretty full.
So have you had to turn a lot of people away or have them reschedule their stuff?
Reschedule maybe a little bit, mostly with the minivans because they're so close together. We don't now allow nobody to sit next to our driver. We put them in the back seat and then with the plexiglass between that. So we're making it work.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've had too many denial of rides, but maybe not specifically for the time that they want to go, but maybe if we pick them up a half hour earlier, it works out.
Yeah. That's us. We've been asking or calling the doctor's offices ourselves and trying to reschedule people, and then we make it work. But there's been a lot of rescheduling.
Yeah, that's what's happened. And Leanne actually puts in a lot of extra time just by trying to make everything work too. So it can be difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good deal. Well, thank you, and I'll see you in person eventually.
Yeah.
And I own Polson Taxi Company. Our rates in town are $5 for a pickup and $2 per mile, but we do flat rates for longer distances. Our taxi service provides service from Polson to Missoula and from Polson up to the Glacier Park International Airport. We run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our services that we provide are taxi shuttles to the airport, bar pickups. We have a lot of tourism in this town, so KOA to the lake.
So your company is pretty new in Lake County. Can you tell me a little bit about it and how it got started?
Yeah, I used to live here when I was younger. Powell Elementary, Ronan, 5th and 6th grade, and then 7th and 8th grade here in Polson. And I just come back. My brother stayed living here. I moved away when I was 15, but I'd come back a lot to visit him, and we'd go out for a couple drinks. I wouldn't be able to find a ride home, and the only ride we could find home was a rough one. So we talked about it for a couple years, and I had too much going on the other side. I promote MMA fights. I have a fight promotion company over in Helena, and that was keeping me busy. And after COVID, it wasn't keeping me busy no more. So he said, now might be a good time to get prepared, because when they open COVID back up, people are going to be wanting jamming and tourism and all that. Excuse me. But so we did that. I was a little cashy at the time, and I bought some pretty good inexpensive cars, and we just got to work. Me and my brother. It was just me and my brother going at it for a while, and that ran us down pretty hard. So we hired a couple guys and got them moving, and then it slowed down again in October, and we had to lay them off, and we picked up a couple more guys right now, and it seems to be going pretty well. It's picked back up. We're over in Helena, and got one driver in Missoula right now.
Okay. And then you and your brother are in Lake County?
But he helped me get it started off the ground, and then I got two guys here, a lady named Becky, and it's a guy from Texas named Chris, and they work 12-hour shifts, and I back them up and do dispatch and the marketing and everything like that.
So you guys are open 24/7. That's great news for our community. How do people book a ride?
Booking.polsontaxi.com takes you to a site where you can type in where you're at, where you want to go, hit enter, and it shows you the fare, shows you the time, shows you the distance, and then it gives you an option to sign up for the app. And then in the corner it says become a driver. So we're slowly starting to creep people into getting it.
Also, you can always call Polson Taxi at 407-2738.